Hello and welcome to Revsportz. This is a very straightforward video. I've forever said this, that boycott is not an option. And to any politician, I'm agreeable to a healthy civil debate. I know a lot of you have very strong views on this and I respect them. I know a lot of you are talking from a position of nationalist sentiment, and I am no less an Indian and I respect you all. Having said that, I think boycott was never an option, can never be an option. At the same time, I'm also of the view that the sports field should be, and I'm very keen on this. The sports field should be used as an option to protest. Sports field should be used as a platform for protest. It has always happened. And the protest on the sports field, whether it is Tommy Smith and John Carlos in 1968, whether it is Jesse Owens, whether it is Curtis Flood, whether it is Jackie Robinson, the color line, the sports field and protest have always gone hand in hand. And I think India has an incredibly good opportunity to use the sporting field to make a larger point to the global world that, look, this is a match that is being played under very different circumstances. So that's what I'm going to elaborate in this video. Why am I saying, let me break this down for you. Why am I saying that boycott is not an option? I'm very clear about it. Now you boycott here. Fair enough, you boycott a couple of games of the Asia Cup. Where do you stop? You're then hosting the Women's World Cup on Indian soil, and India is the country that's the host. India versus Pakistan is in Colombo on the 6th of October. Do you boycott that? If you boycott your own home World Cup game, where do you stand? The host broadcaster can sue you. The International Cricket Council can sue you because ultimately you have signed a host city contract and you're legally opening yourself up to litigation. Having said that, you're going to put your women in a rather difficult position to qualify. It's your home World Cup, for God's sake. Now, do you not want that? Do you not want your women to qualify? 4 months later, you have the T20 World Cup on home soil, February, March. Now, when you play that home World Cup, you've already set a precedent that you've not played Pakistan in the Asia Cup because of boycott. So will you boycott your home World Cup game with Pakistan also? You have opened a Pandora's box. This boycott argument should extend to the World Athletics Championship, where the Indians are already there, to archery, to hockey, to football, to wrestling, to boxing. Every Indian sport, the moment Pakistan puts forward one athlete, you will have to then withdraw, because otherwise it becomes a case of double standards. And the point is pretty straightforward here. The government of India understands that, and that's why this multi-nation policy has been formulated. And at the same time, there will never be any kind of bilateral sport with Pakistan as long as cross-border terrorism is a reality. So that's the point that I'm trying to make about boycott. That it is not just Olympic ambitions. It is not just Commonwealth Games ambitions. It is, yes, they are there. It is about India's global positioning in the larger world, but I'm very clear that boycott is not an option now. But does that mean that the players should not do anything? Does that mean that the players cannot use the sporting field? Absolutely not. And I'll take you back to Mexico 1968. I'll take you back to how many times racism has been challenged on the sporting field, how many times people have put forward very strong points of view. Tommy Smith and John Carlos with that Black Power salute, it became the enduring image of the 1960s and the 20th century. Can India do something like that? Can the Indians wear black armbands, for example, when they step on the field against Pakistan? Can Surya Kumar Yadav make a statement by saying that his team is wearing black armbands in empathy, in compassion? Is that going to be possible for India? Also, at the end of the game, is it mandatory to shake hands? Maybe not. I understand why Surya will have to shake hands of the ACC chair, but I don't understand why the Indian team might have to shake hands, because if you don't want to, don't do it. It is not mandatory. Use the sporting field to make a larger point. Use the sporting field to demonstrate to the world that you are playing a rogue nation because it's a compulsion. Use the sporting field to tell the world the Indian story. So I think the sporting field should be used properly to make this larger point. And if this larger point is indeed made, the players have done their job to try and shape the narrative in favor of them. They are not going to go and fight the war. It is not their job. Their job is to go out there and play the sport, which is watched by millions. And this is the way I think India can make a telling point. That's what I believe should be done and can be done. Boycott was never an option. At the same time, sports and politics have always been bedfellows, and because they have been bedfellows, this is our option to use the sporting field as a tool to make a larger political point. So if you ask me as an advocate, as an analyst of sport, as someone who teaches sport for a living, I would say India has a golden opportunity. A golden opportunity to make a telling point, a golden opportunity to protest, a golden opportunity to raise a voice, a golden opportunity to tell the world that a larger point needs to be made, a golden opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to bring the attention of the world to what is going on by raising their voice in the manner that they know best, by turning up there, playing cricket, and yet making these points. So no boycott, but definite protest. That's what I advocate, and that's what I want to see happen in Dubai on Sunday. And that's why I've been saying, do not. And again, you are entitled to your opinion, but I believe boycott was never a solution. The solution is use what is in your control to make the larger point. I hope you understand and appreciate and agree where I'm coming from, but feel free to disagree, because that's what is healthy. Civil disagreement should be the way forward. Thank you very much for watching.